Hey, what's going on there, Dice Rolls? Paul here, and I'll be your DM for a little while. And today, I want to talk about something that I saw that Professor Dungeon Master was talking about. And I'll put a link down to his video down below. But he was talking about using, not allowing the character sheet to be a prison for the player, that the player should have far more agency in how they are going to create their character. And I also found this true for myself when I am DMing. I DM at the public library once a month, and I get new players that'll just kind of come in. And boy, I got really just, I was overwhelmed for the players when I would hand them a regular D&D sheet. And there was a first level, I'd have pre-gen characters, and I would hand that to a player, and I would feel bad that I handed it to the player because now they have all these pre-gen stuff on there, right? They got their flaws, they got their background, they got their their bonds, all that stuff. And then they have all this, and they got to find, the skills, and they got to find, and I just felt really bad that I'm handing them this kind of, two pieces of paper possibly. And so that's a lot to get started with. And so I thought to myself, well, how can I simplify this for a brand new player so that they are not overwhelmed with this piece of paper and all these things that they feel like they have to know. And so I wound up saying, okay, how do I just started to just kind of fiddle around and kind of creating a very basic sheet that you can give to brand new players and how to get them really into the game quickly versus them having to study the pre-gen characters. Nothing wrong with the pre-gen characters. I'm going to show you a pre-gen character, but it's going to be simplified. So hopefully this will help you, that if you're a DM and you feel overwhelmed handing somebody this, already filled out sheet of paper, it's maybe 2 pages or whatever. Hopefully I'm going to show you a piece of paper that you give it to them, one paper, and then here's everything you look at. So let's go ahead and transition. Let me show you what I put together. Now, I put this together in Canva. I just took just kind of made like an index card size piece of paper, an index card size graphic, if you will, because that was my thought, was how do I fit all this stuff maybe on an index card? And maybe these are probably the bigger sized, index cards, but still keeping it very basic. And so what I've done here is, of course, I leave the name off because I want the player to be able to go ahead and name their character. And I know what you're saying, Paul, what if the people you're giving this to aren't very creative? Well, this is where you help them in the process. I would rather have somebody maybe who is not as quick or creative that I can kind of help with versus somebody who wants to kind of like gather all this information in and then figure out how to, process it into that. I'd rather just help somebody, a little bit more gently into the character creation process than throwing them something, and let them, once again, have the fun and the joy of creating their own character. So I leave the name blank, and of course, and I leave, I give them these are just a pre-gen character. I give them, this is a rogue, halfling, Lightfoot. And what I've done here is I put their abilities right here, as you can see. And then the next thing I give them is their saving throws. These are really so they can find it very easily. I don't have to direct them. Okay, well, where are my saving throws? Well, the number is below your ability score. So I'm trying to direct traffic a little bit. I'm trying to simplify the traffic so their eyes don't have to go all over the page. They can just see what they're looking at. And so their saving throws are going to be that. And then I choose their 5, what are their 5 highest skills, or what I believe the skills that class will use. So, acrobatics, perception, persuasion, sleight of hand, investigation, stealth. So those are the 5 there, and I put those 5 skills there because a brand new player, in my opinion, doesn't have to know everything. I want them to get into the game so they will enjoy the game and, enjoy the not just the process, but the fun of why they showed up. They showed up to play a game, especially in my case, when they come to a library and they just want to jump right in. Well, I want to help them jump right in. Now, the next thing I give them all their features, right? What can this character do at first level? Well, you can roll again on a 1, which is a halfling as far as your race is concerned. You have advantage on being frightened. You can move through the space of any creature that is a size larger than yours. I think once you get them this basic, then you say, well, do you like your character? Well, here's a character sheet if you would like to expand on this character. Just take what you have here. I'd rather give them a free, a blank regular D&D character sheet after that and say, hey, take this home and fool around with it and do it on your own, versus them having to, adapt to what I'm giving them. I give them very basic equipment. If they have spells, I give them 3 basic spells. I give them like 2 cantrips and 3 spells. If they're brand new to the game, they don't know what they're supposed to have and what not to have, but I try to give them very basic things, but I also give them things like these cleric cards. So I say, okay, here's a cleric card. Here's the 5 things you can do. All the information's on that card, right? Or if they're arcane, right? I give them one of those. And I give them like 2 cantrips and the 3 best spells, level, 1 spells or whatever it is, just so they can have something to be able to work with. And if they don't have any spells, they don't have any spells. But at least in keeping this kind of locked in to where everything is within the eyes right there, that you can see it. There's no flipping over page. Now I can tell them, if you want to, put something on the side, put a little note about your character or describe them or whatever, I encourage that. I'm just not going to do it for the player. First of all, it's a lot of work for me, and it takes away a little bit of their agency that they came to role play. And so I help them do that. So yeah, my goal is to get a new player into the game quickly, not being bogged down with all the visual eye candy of a character sheet, a traditional character sheet, and then giving that player more agency. All right, and that is my take on how to get new players playing D&D quickly, and I think it's by simplifying the character sheet and then not giving them all the information at once, but let it kind of develop over time. But I would like your opinion. You tell me down in the comments below. What do you think about a simplified character sheet like this and giving player more insight? I love your opinions on this. Tell me what you do. How do you start new players off quickly? I would love your take on it. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let's know you like the video and you want more of them. So until next time, guys, we'll catch you in the next video.